Conor, good to see you, mate.
And you, mate.
Sorry, I'm a bit sweaty being outside for the Soccer AM channel.
It's all right, mate.
Thinking some about. We're going to basically it's your first season, full season in the Premier League. So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, perfect, mate.
Excellent. What was Wolves' best performance?
There's been quite a few, if I'm being honest with you. I think we've played quite well. I think everybody knows about the games we play against the so-called big teams. I think the one against Tottenham away at Wembley was fantastic. I think it was brilliant. I thought the way the boys played, I thought it was probably one of our best away performances of the season, really. And I think if I'm looking at home as well, it was probably the Chelsea game where we come back from 1-0 down to win 2-1.
Thanks for that.
But it was a good game for us.
Thanks for that, mate. You're getting early doors. Yeah. No, you bossed that game, didn't you, to be fair?
Yeah, no, it was good. We've got players who can score good goals and players who create things, so it worked out well for us that day. And it was needed at the time because we were in a bit of a bad run as well, where we hadn't won in 5, and it was a bit of a tough time for us.
Why are you so good against the top teams?
It's a tough question, to be honest with you. It's tough. I think the main thing is the manager and how he puts us out there and how he says play without any fear. We're a team who want to enjoy ourselves. We're a team who enjoy playing for our manager and enjoy playing the way he wants to play. And I think as long as we've got that and we go into the games with freedom, that's what we can do. And it's been fantastic this season. What's
been your best performance on a personal note?
Mine.
Because you've been good, haven't you? Let's be honest.
I play with good players who help me. I play with good players who help me. No, I do. They make it a lot easier for me. But I think me personally, I felt like I mentioned that Tottenham game before. I thought it was very good defensively in terms of how we played as a team. But I thought playing against obviously one of the best strikers in the world, I done okay against him, which was a good day for us.
Yeah. What is the best changing room, away changing room you go and you go, oh, this is all right actually?
To be honest, there's quite a few in the Premier League.
Is there?
There's quite a few, yeah. No, there is. Because
don't they make it really small and horrible and like...
I think them days are gone, if I'm being honest with you, mate. Yeah, I don't think there's many of them no more because there's quite a... Like, I like Brighton's. Brighton's is huge. It's huge, but it's a new stadium. Do you know what I mean? Teams like that, they're all new. If you look back at the old stadium, they're the ones that are quite small. Fulham, that's quite small and things like that. But the ones that I really like are the big open ones where you go in, you've got a bit of room to do your bits and bobs and keep yourself to yourself. But yeah, I'd say Brighton's a real good one for us.
Go on, what's the worst?
I'd say I played for the team as well. Huddersfield, yeah, Huddersfield, yeah. It's tight, it's audible, it's cramped. You're dead close to each other. You're getting changed next to Big Bolly, and it's not good. You know what I mean?
He is a big lump.
Yeah, he's a beast, mate. He's a beast. So when you're next to him in that tight environment, it becomes so.
After the games, does he kick up a bit?
Everyone does. It's not just him. It's everyone. I'm not the best myself.
You're next to him.
Yeah, I'm not the best myself, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'd say that one.
Yeah. Which has been the most hostile atmosphere away from home? But you've just got it. They've gone, you know.
Yeah, listen, the Premier League's the best in the world for everything. Supporters, fans, everything. I think the most hostile away from home was probably Newcastle. We ended up winning there last minute. We scored last minute in the game. We won all, and Matt Doxey popped up at the end with a header, and it was an unbelievable day for us to win there at St James's, knowing how tough it is. But the crowd that day really supported the team, and it was a tough one to play.
Yeah. Do you hear what the crowd say to you?
You tend to block it out, do you know what I mean? You don't tend to hear. I think...
So what if you go and get the ball from the side today, sort of lean over the holdings and go...
Yeah, you hear that, but I don't tend to do that. I don't tend to move, really.
Just stuck in the middle, spraying it about a bit.
I don't tend to, but I can imagine the boys who take throw-ins and free kicks and different things tend to hear that, but you tend to zone out anyway. You don't really hear that much.
Yeah. What's been the best pitch you've played on?
Pitch in terms of stadium or actual pitch?
Actual pitch, grass.
Arsenal was fantastic.
Yeah?
Arsenal was brilliant. Like I mentioned before about the Premier League, everything's top draw. Do you know what I mean? Everything's the best of the best. But Arsenal was like a carpet. It really was. The Emirates. It was an amazing stadium to play at. But I think the pitch in terms of that was brilliant.
We're talking about changing rooms. What do you do before a game to prepare?
Yeah, we have. To be honest, we have really good fitness guys at Wolves. We have Antonio and Joao, and they put you through what is like an essential warm up before you warm up inside, where you do a load of different exercises, and that's kind of our routine now, and it's worked for the last 2 years, so we're never going to change that. So we've got like a warm-up room, especially at Wolves when we play at home. We've got a warm-up room where I tend to go in and spend half an hour, 40 minutes, just making sure I'm ready before I then go out to do the warm-up.
And do you have any superstitions? Are you putting anything on?
No, I tend to try and do, say we've won the week before, to say when we played against some of the big teams we've won, I try to do the same thing again, but nothing really superstition terms. I'll put my left shin pad on and my right. Do you know what I mean? Nothing really like that. I just tend to, if we've had a good performance and I've played well individually, I'll tend to try and do the same thing again.
It must be quite hard to remember what you did the week before, though.
It is, and I'll be honest with you, I probably get half of it wrong. I just think in my head,
I'm sure I did this, so I'll do that.
It's just a mental thing, and I'm sure I put my left boot on first, so I'll do that again today, but I'm probably wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's just what's in my head.
What has been Nuno's best team talk?
Oh, there's been loads. There's been loads. There really has. He makes you feel like you can win every single game. He does. I think that's why, I mentioned it before, that's why we've done so well this year in terms of the games we've won. But I think his best one that really sticks out in my mind is when we played Tottenham away at Wembley. It was like he scripted the whole performance. He scripted the whole game. It was ridiculous. So before the game, he spoke about trying to contain Tottenham as much as we possibly could, knowing how good they were going forward and how much of a fantastic team they were. But we ended up containing them. They went in 1-0 up where Harry Kane scored an absolute whaley of a goal with his left foot. And then he said at half-time, right, now have the ball. Believe in yourselves to have the ball. Keep the ball away from them as much as possible. And we done it, and we ended up winning the game 3-1. It was kind of like he knew everything that was going to happen. It was brilliant. So that was the one that sticks out in my head. Because
he used to be with Mourinho, didn't he, at Porto?
Yeah.
And I've heard stories about Mourinho. He'd sort of predict who would score before the game and stuff. And it's like...
Yeah, it's crazy. And I've heard loads of stories like that myself. And I think it comes from these managers being the best. I really do. I think if you look at probably the best managers in the world now, they probably do it as well in terms of Guardiola and people like this. But I can only go off my own assumptions with our manager, and that's exactly what he does. And I'll always remember that day because it was literally like he scripted the game. And it was brilliant to see.
Do you ever say to him, like, Gaffer, are you a bit psychic?
You can't. You can't. No, you take on board. I said to you before about wanting to look and listen to him as much as possible, and that's all we want to do because we enjoy listening to him, and his ideas are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. What's been his biggest rollicking when you've been really told off for not pulling your weight?
I'll be honest with you, you just know when he's angry. Do you know, like them dads?
I knew when he was angry when I interviewed him this year.
That's what it's like. He creates an atmosphere. You know them dads when you know you've been told off and you've done something wrong, you go in, you know he's not happy with you, but he's just silent. That's what he's like. In terms of he won't shout and scream and bawl. It's nothing like that after the game or in training the next day. It's kind of just silence. Like as professional footballers anyway, when you've not done right, you've done something wrong. You know, but I think in terms of the manager, and that's the way he is, and we respect that and how he does things, and that's what makes him the manager he is, which is brilliant.
But sometimes that's probably worse, isn't it? They just stare
at you. It is, yeah. For us, 100%. 100%. It's horrible because you're going the next day, and like I said, you know yourself you've not done well, but to then have your manager who then is reinforcing that with his silence, it's hard, yeah.
He's a really good bloke, isn't he?
He's brilliant. He's brilliant.
He doesn't like media, I know that. He doesn't like talking to the media. I've witnessed that firsthand. But
yeah, no, all we can go off is what he's like with the players, and he's amazing. He really is. I think what he's done for the football club in the last 2 years has been absolutely outstanding in terms of changing the direction of the club and everything that comes with it. But the performances on the pitch all come from him, and we just do whatever he tells us in the training pitch that week. And I think as long as we keep on listening to him, hopefully we keep on improving. Who's
the best player you came up against?
I think the best player individually was probably Aguero at Manchester
City.
Yeah, he's everything that you see on the telly. He really is. He's incredible. He's so clever. He really, really is in everything he does, and he was so tough to mark.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's been the dirtiest? Like, the strongest, really sort of beating you up a bit? Yeah.
There's been quite a few. There's some big players who come up against you, and the top footballers as well. They're not just big target men these days. They can actually play and really do well. The two tough ones for me are Mitrovic and Rondon. They really are. At Fulham and Newcastle, they're both fantastic football players and really nice people when you speak to them after the game and different things. But when it comes to being on in the actual game, they don't have to make it tough for you, so we've got to make sure we're on it.
Mitrovic looks double hard, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's Serbian as well, and he's all like, they're always quite tough. But he's just a tough. But like I said, you can speak to him after the game, and when we played against him, he was captain as well. So I had a conversation with him after the game. He was fine.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, lovely fella. But he does make it tough. You're on the pitch. It's a tough game. So
fair dues. What's been the highlight of your first Premier League season?
Oh, there's been loads. There really has. There's been loads. Like I said, them games, the memories we've made this year, we can never take away from each other. From our families, you'll remember it forever. For our kids, you'll remember it forever. And I think I can't just pick out one actual memory. I think it's the whole thing of my first season in the Premier League. It was just one to remember for the rest of my life. It's been amazing. We said at the start of last season that we all dreamed of playing the Premier League, and every single one of our players now have done it, and they're realising that dream now, which is brilliant. Yeah.
Well, that was your rundown of your first Premier League season.
Cheers, pal.
Hope the next one's as good as well.
Top man.
Thanks,
Thank you, mate.
Cheers. There we go. There we go. Go on. Go on. Go on. Oh! Oh! Gav, take it away. Yeah.